Welcome to another episode of Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news and insights from Littlefield Agency.
Guys, welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. I'm Sam Littlefield. With me is
Roop.
And with us is
I'm Sean Hubbard.
Hubbard.
Insert fanfare music there.
Fanfared away, Claude. There
That's
we
not
go.
Music.
That's
Good
not music
Lord.
at all,
Yeah.
but it's nice.
Yeah, Sam had promised me
It's
some
appropriate.
smoke and intro
So
music and all
where's the
kinds of
smoke
stuff.
machine,
but that's
guys?
all right.
Take it from the top.
We need more budget.
What's in that Celsius? We're excited to have Sean here today. He had his whole team. How many people were in that room today?
A bunch.
There were a bunch.
Yeah.
We had quarterly analytics, we had campaign concept presentations, and then about 24 hours ago, I gave Sean a phone call and I said, "Hey, you're going to be in our office, and I would love if you join us on the podcast."
That's right.
But it's great because he's a natural, and we're going to announce some big news here in a little bit because he's going to be a regular. Before we get into that, we have a string of birthdays here at Littlefield Agency. Reynolds Wallace was on Saturday, Chelsea Clement was on Monday, Kenny is today, and Melissa is tomorrow. There we go. There's our music. Thank you, Claude. Kelly Hubble's 4th anniversary is today as well. So it's a big
July
string.
is always a really big Littlefield month.
Yes.
Has she been here 4 years?
She's been. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said Kelly. I don't know where
Yeah.
that
awesome.
4 years went. So anyway, but enough talk about us. We're here to talk about this guy. And you just got back from a pretty cool little trip that we would love for you to tell our viewers some backstory on.
Sure. Yeah, it's a golf trip with the boys. We've been doing it. This was year 12. There's 7 of us, and myself makes 8. And we just go on an annual boys trip and go play as much golf as we can. And
How many rounds did you play?
we played 36 holes on Monday, 36 holes on Tuesday, and 18 on Wednesday.
How much money changes hands on these trips?
You know, there's not a whole lot of gambling.
That's what I love about this.
Yeah, it's a year's worth of bragging rights.
It goes deeper than cash.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you got to live with it for a full year.
But this,
no, it's awesome.
This way, talk about. So I'm all for a good guys golf trip.
Yeah.
Talk to us just about the hyping up throughout the year, and
Sure.
B, not only bragging rights, but you get some pretty cool. What's the name of your tournament?
Yeah, so the tournament, we call it the JC Cup, which is a kind of a funny little backstory. I'll try to go through it fairly quickly.
We got time.
But yeah, JC is for Junction City, which is a little city in Kansas that nobody's ever heard of. And this came
Apologies to residents of Junction City that listen to the podcast.
Yeah, we love Junction City.
These opinions are not endorsed by the
That's
owners
right.
of the podcast.
So one of the guys on our trip, his dad, we refer to as the Godfather,
Amazing.
was at a KU, University of Kansas and K-State football game in Manhattan, but there weren't any hotel rooms available in Manhattan, so he stayed in Junction City. And we ended up calling him that night, and he had several alcoholic beverages, and we were like, "So how's Junction City?" And he just looks at us, or just pauses for a second and goes, "Junction City was awesome!" And so that kind of became the joke for us. If anything was really fun or really cool, it's like, man, that is so Junction City. And then this idea for a golf tournament was born, and it's like, man, we got to call it the Junction City Cup. It's the JC Cup.
Wow.
Is there a trophy?
We've had a couple traveling trophies, but they never make it back the next year.
They just keep traveling.
Yeah, they're just so somebody's got them in their attic or their basement or something like that. But it's a really fun trip. I mean, it's like a Ryder Cup style tournament where we play different formats for match play. 4 guys on each team. We're all dressed the same. We've got our golf costumes on, is what we call them. And just go out, and it's a beer drinking contest with some golf mixed in, and really good camaraderie. And we all love getting together every year.
And you walked away as a
JC Cup champion.
All right.
That's right.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
There it is.
Thank you. Jeez.
Welcome.
Much,
we'll
much
take the
lower
cheers. I love
applause
it.
than earlier.
I will.
Yeah.
I will give this guy and I have played a lot of golf over the years, and it's such a legit tournament. He has a bag that says.
I do. Yeah, I had to retire that bag because it was white.
It was white.
And it
Well,
was
you
white.
kept it.
And that was
You
I
kept
still
it.
got it.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
for
it's
sure,
in my
for
little
sure.
basement down there.
And did you add years on of how many times you what years you won it?
Yeah, I had to retire that bag a few years ago, so there's a couple years
pretty
that
cool.
weren't on it. But yeah, it's got my name embroidered on it, and we have a logo. We have a JC Cup logo, and then the years that I was the champion of it. So
that was last week. He came back into the office on Monday, and then here we are on a Tuesday on the podcast. So we appreciate it in your
that's
busy
right.
time.
Yeah, no sweat. Very busy. Very busy.
So Sean has been at Ditch Witch for 6 years. Before I started running the agency, we got to work together for a couple of years, which was awesome. So we thought we'd take this time, Sean, just to give our viewers and our listeners some inside scoop of what your job started out as 6 years ago.
Okay.
And talk to us about the evolution over the last 6 years.
Yeah, it's kind of a wild ride for me. I got the job somehow. I don't really know how I have it. I didn't have a whole lot of, if any, media experience. So I credit actually Sam to kind of teaching me that side of the business. But so I'm the marketing communications manager for Ditch Witch, and my career path up to that point was strictly on the PR side. I wrote press releases and feature articles for magazines and websites and stuff like that. Didn't know anything about advertising, marketing, really a whole lot. So yeah, just that was kind of the background of me getting there, and now working with agencies. We work with you guys and another group out of Minnesota. But yeah, so my day to day, what I handle is the PR side for the brand and also the advertising. So digital and print media is going away, as we all kind of know that, and that's some of the evolution you're probably talking about. That we're getting ready, I think, to announce some news,
Yes.
a new
Big news.
yeah thing we're going to go down, and that was not really on the radar 6 years ago. So. Yeah, that's kind of my day-to-day is advertising and PR, and my team manages the websites and does social media, email marketing, those types of things.
And you got there's 6 total on your team? 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7?
7.
Yeah, you got 7.
Yeah,
So you got a nice size in-house team. The cool thing is, and you talk about this evolution, Sean, from just, I think about how quickly 6 years has gone, right? Very fast. We've been working with Sean for 6 years and with the Ditch Witch team for 22 years, which is really awesome, something we take a lot of pride in. I think about all the Ditch Witch stuff. I'm looking out the window of the evolution of the logo over the years, right? And when you all hired us in 2002 as a very traditional branding agency, ran some print ads, did some very traditional media things, into launching you all into social media in the early 2010s. And then I think about especially the two of you and what you guys do every day. Everything post-COVID in the sense of content. Got some big plans for content strategy going forward. But just thinking about the evolution of content, just in your daily role, how I would say when Sean started, you were a long-form writer for public relations purposes.
Yeah.
Now look at people's attention spans.
I was going to say that's not a thing anymore.
Here's your list of keywords right to this.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky because our team gets to work with Sean and Brad and the team on a basically daily basis. Just thinking on how people are digesting media, how they're digesting content. And sure, there might be someone still willing to give us their email and download that nice white paper that Sean wrote.
Yeah. We need to be a little bit more creative, and Roop's helped a lot with that too. It's not just, nobody's going to sit down and read a 1,200 word article on something unless they're very interested in that something. So if they are interested, that's something that should be gated content, right?
Right.
Totally.
And we didn't have any gated content when I started 6 years ago. So, that's something else. And when you were talking about when I started and you were on the media side and we were kind of partners there.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the conference room over there for hours and just putting up our
mapping it out.
Yeah, our print media schedule. What was it going to be all year? And it was a lot of fun. It was a good time, but we don't do that anymore.
And I would say at that point we were about 60% print.
Yeah, I think so.
And that was 6 years ago. Also, Sean and I would sit in a room, calendar basically like content strategy, media strategy for a year, and we'd high five, all right, man, do it again next year.
Yeah. See you in August, right? That was awesome.
Of course, we chatted in between that, but I just
did
just the constant, the moving pieces, all of it. But it makes our job really fun. That's why we're here, and that's what we do with you guys.
Yeah.
One thing that's really cool is, Roop, do you want to say anything?
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
I was going to comment on how much better your voice has gotten.
I know, right?
I think mine's getting worse.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not sick. I just have a really raspy voice.
Sam sounded really rough last couple of days. And just right before we turned the mics on, something cleared up.
I must.
You turn the lights on.
Turn the lights on.
He's ready to roll.
It's game time, baby.
Consummate performer.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't those cigars or anything. Couldn't have been that.
I just reek of cigars.
I don't know what it is.
So, Roop, I want to. Now my voice is going to go raspy. I want to tee you up because something that we're really, really excited for here in 2 months, almost
It's coming up.
to the day.
We got to get these plane tickets
We got to
immediately.
get these freaking plane tickets.
Yeah.
We're going to Boston for Inbound with Sean.
You didn't say it correctly.
Baston.
Baston.
Baston
Yeah,
Lobster.
yeah.
Baston is some lab stuff. We're going up to the Northeast for HubSpot's inbound conference. Roop, this will be your third year.
Yeah.
This will be Sean and I's first year.
Yep.
And we couldn't be more excited. So, Roop, kind of give us what are we expecting here, and what are not the actual takeaways, but we're going to walk away with a lot.
Yeah, so we'll probably do a pre-HubSpot inbound and post-inbound podcast as well. But like the stuff that we know about right now, last year we kind of thought it would be a lot about AI, and it was. This year is a little bit more into the AI, and I think what I'm noticing, there's a lot more content-related topics because they've rolled out a content hub, and they're trying to help support that as well. So I noticed a little bit more of that. But every year they have a giant keynote that sometimes has something to do with marketing or advertising or these jobs, and sometimes doesn't. Sometimes it's just an inspirational speaker. Last year was Reese Witherspoon, which I was like, why is she coming? What am I going to get out of this? It was interesting. It was fun.
She's built a hell of a brand for herself.
Yeah,
too.
I learned a lot about her and her business side, and at the time they were in the actors strike, I think, and so she couldn't talk about her films.
She had some time.
That's fact. But like she couldn't even talk about her film projects. They said that up front. We can't ask or answer questions about it. This year, another actor, Ryan Reynolds, is the keynote. But unlike the others in the past, he actually is way into marketing and advertising and has his own agency.
He owns an agency.
Yeah, and uses it a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I thought he just owned a football team.
He's like,
that too.
Exactly.
So that one I'm kind of interested in seeing, just because I think he's kind of smarter than I think a lot of people kind of give him credit for on the surface from when I've followed him around in the marketing world.
Super funny too.
Super funny.
He's a funny dude.
Our friend Jay Schwedelson is going to be on the main stage, which is crazy.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I listened to. He was on a podcast.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Big email marketing guru. He's a real smart guy. So like, there's a lot you can take out of it. But basically, at Inbound, you pick your interest tract and you follow it. So it can be marketing, it can be technical, it can be more CRM related if you're doing like support or sales or things like that. And you just kind of follow and get. You just kind of get immersed in it.
Well, that's what I get excited about is Boston in the fall. We were talking about the fall earlier. It's gonna be stunning.
Yeah.
Guys, leaves are changing.
Is it Boston every year?
It was, yeah.
It's Boston every year. Yeah, that's where their headquarters are.
It was in the 90s last year, and we were dying.
I'm going to vibe with great cool weather.
Okay.
Nice cold beers at the end of the day. I'm conjuring up this beautiful fall day in the Northeast.
Will it to happen?
What I get excited about, though, is the opportunity for the three of us to divide and conquer, right?
Yes.
To go to different sessions and to break bread and to have a drink and catch up over. There's so many different learnings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's going to be interesting.
I think it'll be cool, too. I mean, I think the three of us, too, are on different levels within HubSpot. I would consider Roop way up here. Sam's way down here. I was going to say Sam's in the. Yeah, well, you and I would flip each other. But yeah, I'm a newbie to the world. And Roop and I were talking about that this morning before our meeting is I'm going to have to find the HubSpot for Dummies track as I try to learn a little bit more about this, where it would probably be a waste of Roop's time, but he'll be a little bit more advanced, and you and I can sit in the kindergarten class and get crayons and
stuff. I would say I found myself in stuff that was over my head in the past as well, but there's still stuff you take out of those sessions even. You can't go wrong.
Well, and I just remember like the energy that Roop brought back to the agency afterwards, and then the learnings. They're like, okay, that's an interesting thing, and then we put it into practice.
Yeah, we employ a lot of stuff out of it.
And that, and we really started to see some momentum out of that. So I get really excited for that'll be here, guys, really quick. Joy is going to go too.
Nice.
Our client from H.U. Williams is going to go with Joy. It's going to be a really, really nice time. What I think about too is we think about HubSpot, as we think about how Sean's role has really evolved. I'd like for you to give the big news, because his content continues to evolve, and we see it every day here. What are you bringing to your organization here in the next 60 to 90 days? Yeah,
so we're pretty excited about it. It's something that Roop has been trying to talk me into, I think, for a little while, and I was going, no, we don't have enough to talk about. But after multiple conversations and months of telling me it's a good idea, I am definitely on board that Ditch Witch is, we're going to launch our own podcast called Beyond the Moon, a Ditch Witch podcast. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Soon.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I was hesitant to do it for a year probably because, and I think you guys touched on this on one of your recent podcasts, is my biggest hurdle to do this was I don't think we have enough to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, this is how you dig a trench. Like, who cares, right? But I do think that this is it's an opportunity for us to engage with our customers, and actually a lot of people that aren't even our customers.
There you go.
So I'm excited about it.
And I think the How to Dig a Trench is like episode 5. Is that where you've got that mapped out?
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
No,
it might be. There's a good way to dig.
I am super excited about it because, you know, like we've talked about a lot, it's another content piece that hits every checkpoint and puts you in front of audiences you otherwise can't be in front of.
Right.
And we're super excited about it. We shot some stuff this morning just to kind of prep for it. You get to see the set together for the first time. We'll start recording here pretty soon. It should be up sometime by fall, we think.
Yeah, I think so.
Live,
yeah, I'm excited about it. We've struggled with coming up with new and engaging content for quite a while now. We kind of rely on customers to help tell our story, and they're busy people and they're out working all the time. So while the idea is there, it's hard to kind of follow through with it sometimes. So I think a podcast, we can have blogs out of that and written pieces, and there's social content, and there's just so much opportunity for us to get out there, and it's another touch point. It's another engagement piece for everybody out there.
And I love the educational opportunities are tremendous, right? How to dig a trench, I know you're being funny, but there's an example. I think about the subject matter experts that you're going to have on.
Yep.
I think about some of the history and lore that you're just going to, the JC Cup example. I didn't know JC, Junction City.
There you go.
Like people love stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what I'm excited for you to find out, Sean, is when we go super detailed into the weeds on some topic and we get a few listeners, but when we talk about something super entertaining and fun, it's like tenfold, right? Like you'll start to discover these patterns and these trends, because guess what? At the end of the day, people and customers want to be entertained. And that's what you're doing. You're absolutely educating them. But there's a really cool
it'll be good. I mean, the name I think is perfect too. It's Beyond the Moon, right? Because it's not just about our equipment, right? It's not just about how to use it. It's the people behind, that are making decisions to bring it to the market, and who they are as people. And we're actually real people, not just a trencher.
The culture of Ditch Witch.
Culture of Ditch Witch.
So true. Which is a great call on that name. Very, very nice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We were putting the scripts kind of outlines together for the first 9 episodes I think we have right now. And we're talking about some of the culture stuff, and you're like, that can't go on. That can't make it.
Yeah, we can't do that.
That one's got to go off. So you had so much to talk about.
Here, but that's too much fun, probably.
So the cool thing, Sean's going to be our very first client to launch a podcast, and that's huge, man.
Yeah.
Like you're bringing a new form of communication and medium to a very, very legit brand.
Right.
And so you all, our listeners and our viewers, will be the first to hear about it, because we will be singing from the mountaintop. But that will be, I would imagine, right around inbound here in a couple of months. So stay tuned. But buddy, we're really excited for you. It's a leap of faith you're taking, but it's a good one.
Yeah. No, but surely I can't mess it up that bad, right? Brandon
will
will let that happen.
This guy.
That's right.
This is the third version of this podcast we've done.
Yeah. Well, I understand. So it'll be a work in progress for sure.
No, we're pumped.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts, guys. Anything?
I really appreciate you guys asking me to hop on today. I'm glad we're not talking about Vanderpump marketing. That's not my thing. I will say though that my wife and I were coming to Tulsa early in the morning 6 weeks ago, and for a kind of a stressful day. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to this podcast and put her to sleep or whatever. And it was the Vanderpump one. And she was so engaged, and it got her mind off of the stressful stuff that we were about to do. So it was awesome, except for the air horn thing that you changed. I think it used to be a topic ding, and then it was like,
yeah. I changed it for that episode.
Yeah,
it's like 4 in the morning. We're driving to Tulsa. And it's like,
holy cow!
Card back there.
So anywho,
there's your boost of coffee.
That's right. Point being, appreciate it, guys.
Oh, dude,
it's been a good
thanks
time.
for coming on. We appreciate it.
We are so happy to have you on. Excited for your podcast. And
now hang out in Boston.
Hang out in Boston.
Yeah.
And the fact that you agreed to do this 24 hours ago with really no heads up.
Right.
You're
Just
a
wing
trooper.
it.
Gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah. This is how it's going to be when you're doing them. You're just like into the deep end of the pool, and there you go.
But you are natural, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys,
Natural
we'll catch
something.
you next week. Thank you so much, and we will see you then.
Adios.
And that's a wrap. We hope you've enjoyed our little chat and found ways to grow your own marketing strategies. Remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on social media @Littlefield Agency.